Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to Pi Season 3. We are picking up right where we left off working on this giant wood processing plant, which ironically can't even run yet because we don't have ash and moss in the network. But we'll get there, don't worry. Don't you worry. The first thing I'm going to do is get some startup moss. Ooh, I can even craft a moss farm. Perfect. We're just going to need a little bit of startup moss, and we can use the muddy sludge CO2 recipe to get that started. And our composter is going to be needed. And one thing I was considering is, and I'm not really sure how I feel about this, but we could just do direct insertion of tree seedlings to each fastwood forestry. And because right now we've got 6 to 9 is the ratio, and it could just be 1 to 2. And we'd have a few extra botanical nurseries, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And then we wouldn't have to worry about these giant belts. The problem with that is we still have to deal with the overall idea that the seedlings can spoil. It's not that hard to deal with just one chest in between each one where we buffer things. So part of me wants to go with that, but I think I'll go with the sushi loop for now. I think I'll go with the sushi loop. It's fine. So these will... I mean, what if we sushi looped... Here's an idea. What if the sushi loop went around everything? It was just one giant loop. There's an idea for you. Alright, so how far can this go before it's symmetrical? Like that. Alright, perfect. So this will be the sushi loop. I guess. And then we'll do this guy. And then do the pair of buildings like that. I guess we need the other belt. Anyway, I hope you're all having a great day today. I am so excited to be playing pyanodon's. I've got hot coffee as usual, and that makes it a doubly good day. So yeah, we're having a good time. We'll loop around the back here. You know what? What if we just looped into that? Yep. Krydax just got smart. Krydax just got smart. Because we were doing a loop and then a loop. I mean, we were basically doing this. If that makes any sense. And instead, my idea is just do this. Much simpler. So, that's what we are changing. And then this ends up connecting to... Which part did I remove? I'm removing this part. Okay. Got it. All right, and then that will then attach to this part of the loop. Perfect. Okay, so that should loopify everything. Now, I guess I just realized a problem, that inserters aren't going to be able to grab from this. Well, that was silly of me. I'll just use the extra square. Fine. Because I was going to use 90-degree inserters, but the underground pipes are in the way, so that kind of nuked that idea. Alright, so that's good. Now, how are we going to control all this? I don't know yet. I don't quite know yet. And we're going to need some sort of squiggle so that these forestries can get to that part. Maybe over here it'll squiggle. But yeah, like, so the tree seedlings are going to be looping around. They have a 1 hour decay time, so I don't really have to worry about that happening, you know, mid-process. And then we actually need some amount of tree seeds to be on the loop. So it's kind of convenient because when the tree seedlings do spoil into tree seeds, that will just mean we'll throw less tree seeds onto the belt. However, there will reach a possibility at some point that we end up with way more tree seeds than we want. Because we keep... It's really rare, and part of me says we shouldn't even worry about it. But like, let's say we fired up logs for 5 minutes because we only needed 100 logs. And then all the nurseries fire up, so it makes a bunch of tree seedlings to get onto the loop. And then we stop needing logs. And so then all those tree seedlings spoil, all the seedlings that these were, you know, automated insertion limit, all those spoil. So we've got a bunch of seeds back on the loop. More seeds than we want. And then those are gonna... And then let's say it fires up again and we only need tree seedlings for a few minutes. And then eventually we're just gonna have too many tree seeds. Hold on, those biomass... Wait, what? Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, is that a way to get free biomass? But no, it looks like it's the same total amount. The good news is that means that composting tree seeds is actually very efficient too. So if I have too many tree seeds, maybe I just compost them. I don't know, there's so many options here. Oh my god, wait a second, did I just figure something out? Okay, wait a second. So if tree seeds compost to 7.5 each, then that means the 5 moss here that you add in is creating an extra 15 compost. I guess that's not that much. Okay, never mind. I was just thinking if there was like some way to break this tree seedling recipe of like, oh, what if we just made a bunch of tree seedlings for compost and let them spoil? You know, it would be a 1 hour delay, so we'd need a big buffer, but the idea would work. But the problem is we're only getting 3 compost per moss in that case, so that's not actually that good. Not as good as I thought. Anywhoosie, let's actually start working on this. So we're going to go get a couple things. I'm gonna go get some moss jewels, and I'm gonna get the tree jewels, and I'm gonna get, I don't know what else we need, but moss jewels and tree jewels are number 1. I'm worried that there was a train out of fuel for a moment. That scares me. How did a train run out of fuel at all? Oh, I wonder if when I hop in, does it count as a train that's out of fuel for like 1 tick, maybe? I wonder if that's what was going on. Anyway, let me grab some moss here. That should be plenty. And then we'll grab some trees, which we did set up over here. I have 200, I need 60. And those will keep crafting for a while. Why don't we just allow for a few more? Also, have I looked into sap into compost? How is sap for compostability? Sap. 2.3 a piece, so that's not very much. And sap is pretty slow. But maybe sap tier 2, that gets a little better. Because the nice thing about sap is that it doesn't cost anything, and the buildings are relatively small. So that's all a bonus. Alright, so the bots are going to deliver all of the Nostrils. Okay, so let's get these. Well, let's do it one thing at a time. So the botanical nursery never needs more than one in and one out, and it could have trash being tree seeds, so it might output tree seeds sometimes. So we need the output inserter to not be filtered. Now, the side of the belt, I believe, does not matter because the total on this belt is going to be 1.1 tree seedlings a second and 0.375 tree seedlings and 1.875 moss and 3 logs. Maybe I'll put everything on one side and logs on the other. Maybe logs will get their own belt side, and then we don't have to worry about it. So we'll put on the inside of the loop will be all the seed related stuff. So this side of the loop. Okay. So then we're gonna need that to be copied. And we're going to need to measure something somewhere somehow. We only want the input inserters to be running if we're doing a certain thing. So it's the input inserters that we want to limit. So we'll hook those up. And we want to limit them based on probably a log count. Some buffered log count. If logs get below a certain amount, then we start firing off tree seedlings. Yeah, that sounds right to me. But we also want to limit the number of tree seedlings. Do we not? We only want so many tree seedlings on... Well, I guess what we could do is we could use a decider combinator. So then we could... Oh man, I just got this crazy idea. I don't think that's gonna work. I was like, what if we like did tree seedlings less than logs or greater than logs, you know, something like that. But like, we don't really want that, I don't think. No, they need to be inversely proportional. The more logs we have, the less tree seedlings we want, so that wouldn't work. But yeah, we could just use a decider combinator for the signal on these, where like, okay, we have less than a certain amount of tree seedlings and we need logs on the sushi loop. Or I could stop this from inserting, but then we end up with extra backed up seedlings. So I actually like the decider combinator method better. So the brains of the operation and the mixer will be over here somewhere, and the mixer will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So gonna be a 10 tile mixer. And then we will be measuring both of these all belts. So there's our connection point for measuring. And that can go in here. Okay, so this is the brains that says if logs... Well, I need a couple things. We need to filter out the logs, first of all. This is where things get tricky. I don't like using splitters because it breaks up the full belt thing. So it's nice to use filtered inserters, but the problem with filtered inserters is sometimes they don't catch things, right? Like if we happened to get a bunch of logs all in a row, then we've got logs going on a whole magical journey around before they get caught again. Am I just okay with that? I think I'm just okay with that, is maybe my answer. Because this way we don't have to have a bunch of different sections of reading the full belt. Okay, so here we will pull off logs. And we need to make sure this is the correct one, because I'm guessing there's the signals for the incorrect ones. No, I guess that's only in combinators. Okay, so we pull off logs here, and that's our log output. We're outputting 3 logs a second, so we need 3 of these. Maybe even 4, just to guarantee that, you know, the burstiness of it is dealt with. And at that point, I think I prefer something like this. There we go. Okay, so there's logs. And I think what we want is, I actually am gonna measure, we're gonna buffer some logs here. And then that's gonna be our log signal. Now the logs that are on the belt will get added as well. But that's fine. So we want something like log less than, I don't know, 500. And tree seedling, and that is the correct one, is less, or is, I want to enable them when logs are low and seedlings are low. So I want 100 seedlings on the belt. Now, how many, what density of seedlings do we want? Because this is a 65 by 30 grid. So we basically, the way you do the math to figure out how many items fit on one lane is you double 65 and you double 30. So that gives us 130 plus 60, that's 190 actual belt tiles, roughly. And then we multiply that by 4. So 190 times 4 is a little less than 800. So it's like 800 items per lane. So if you wanted, I mean, this actually matters because we need 1.125 per second, which is about 1/7 of a lane. Which means if I get the correct rate, I would need at least 100 of them on the belt. I might go like 200. So that'd be about 1/4 of a belt, which is closer to 1.8 a second. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we'll go to 200 seedlings, and then we'll output the (3x) tree seedling signal. No, that's dumb. We should just have signals here. We'll output 1 for tree seedlings. I think that's better. And then this is 1 greater than 0. Which sounds dumb because 1 is always greater than 0, but it's not exactly what we're saying. The signal of signal 1 is greater than 0. So that works to turn on these guys. Moss will just always be in rotation, so I don't need to worry about that. And then let's see. Now what? Ash is fed on a different belt, so we don't have to worry about Ash. Basically, we want logs to just always run, I think. It's controlled by seedlings. The whole system is controlled by seedlings. So I'm pretty sure we just want logs to run their full amount. So Ash is 2 a second, seedlings is only 0.2 a second. So it's a very, very tiny amount that's coming in. And then we said we wanted logs to be on the inside? No, logs are on the outside of the loop, so that would be on the far side. Like that. And then do the same idea here. And the same idea here. Okay, and then that should work. That should work. And that should work. Okay, so I think we've taken care of everything we need to do with logs. If they end up with spoiled seedlings in them, which shouldn't really be possible unless we run out of these other things, which we could run out of ash, so I need to account for that. The seedlings will just go back on the belt, on the wrong side of the belt. Interesting. Could that create problems? Probably not, because I'm going to pull off seedlings if we have too many. Or sorry, pull off seeds. If we have too many tree seeds, we'll pull them off anyway. Maybe off of this part, but... yeah, so that's thing number 1. And then we get logs out, and those go into the one and only wood processor. I can't believe this entire build only needs one wood processor. We also need to output logs as well. And then we've got up to 2 belts of wood that come out of this, which is just crazy town. Yeah, I figured this would be a problem. Everything powered, more or less. More or less. Okay. So there's some light, and then those are good to go. Logs get offloaded here. And this has no limit because it's limited by tree seedlings getting made. And what's our ratio of seedling to log? It is 2 to 1. So if we have 200 seedlings on the belt, plus all the logs we're currently making, that's going to make another like 600 logs, plus whatever was buffered, and all the recipes that are getting finished. So, I mean, it's going to be a while before the logs finally settle down. So it'll stop at 500, but we'll get up to like, you know, way more than that in here. We could go higher than 500. I could go for 1,000. That just makes it less like I don't know how many logs we would need for one whole cycle, such that if our demand goes from 0 logs to all of the logs, we would want this to spin back up fast enough while we still have that buffer of 1,000 logs, if that makes sense. So 1,000 seems like a pretty safe estimate. I could go even to 2,000 if we needed more, but I'm pretty sure 1,000 logs is enough. Because in terms of minutes, let's just think for a second here while we sip coffee. 1,000 logs is 300. That's 5 minutes of log production. And this is only a 15-second recipe. And this is only a 20-second recipe. And this actually needs exactly that one of these recipes. So we're talking like a 35-second recipe delay, plus whatever delay there is for loading, unloading, and belt trip. And this is only going to be what? 30 seconds? A minute? For the items to get around? So having 333 seconds of production buffered is more than enough, I think. More than enough. So we got logs, wood. Perfect. Okay, and then the final, well, not the final step, but one of the steps is the CO2 from composting. So we'll go ahead and maybe I'll put that over here. Trying to think about how to be efficient. Kind of gets in the way of seeing everything, though. This is one of those buildings where I'm not a fan of how tall it is. Past the, I mean, that's like, it's an extra 5 tiles that the building is taking up. And it makes it just really annoying. All right, okay, so we want am going to... Wood greater than 100. This just prioritizes this one first. And then we can output priority right. I don't even know if we need output priority. How much are we meant to compost? Only 0.73. Yeah, I think I can just pull items off of that like that, and that should be fine. Because that will kind of always prioritize this building. And then we needed just the one high pressure furnace for all of this as well. So that makes CO2 out of biomass, and then that will come around here. Oh, that scared me. I was like, why am I hearing robots leave a roboport? But that's just the sound of the roboport. Makes sense. Okay, so CO2 is almost... Now it is hooked up. Perfect. Biomass is being biomassed. What else do we need here? Do we need a buffer of, like, CO2? Maybe. I'll feel safer if we have a little bit of a buffer. Because the wood production might not be perfectly in time with everything else, and just having a little bit of a buffer makes me feel nice and warm and cozy inside. So we'll do that, and I'll give this something to kickstart some biomass production. I don't know how much we'll need. This says we're going to be making 4.375, so that's 4 inserters. Okay. I think that's enough to get things started. And then that's going... This is good. What else do we need? I feel like I'm still missing a couple things. The tree seedlings, that's what we need. We're not making tree seedlings. So then, also needs to be prioritized more highly, is making tree seedlings. That actually needs to be prioritized, I guess, at the same level as carbon dioxide. They're both needed. Tree seeds. So this pulls tree seeds off to make... pulls wood off to make tree seeds at a rate that is pretty small. It's only half of even a gray assembler. So I don't really need to worry about the rates of any of that. I'm doing 2 inserters just to make sure we have plenty. And then that is now a belt of tree seeds. Now we've got the issue of if we have too many tree seeds. So what we'll do is we will feed tree seeds onto the oh no, I've lost my train. Wait, I think I screwed this up. The inside of the belt is tree seeds and stuff, which is this side of the belt. Logs are on the outside of the belt, so that needs to be there, that needs to be there, and that needs to be there. There we go. Okay. So that's good to go. Tree seeds get fed onto the belt based on belt contents. Tree seed, not said, tree seed. That one. We need how many a second? 0.375 total. So we only need... What was my multiplier? Basically 200. So about 75. Do 80 to be safe. So then we'll do 90 to be safe. Then here's where the magic happens. So if we have more than... You know what I just realized? I would love a recent signals. Just a little, and I don't know where exactly it would go, but some way to just have all the last 20 signals I've clicked on in any context, just in a little box somewhere. Because most of the time, I'm guessing I'm clicking the same signal that I just recently clicked. Tree seeds greater than maybe 150. Then we're going to pull them off. And then we need some sort of buffer that guarantees... I guess if I'm smart, I can do this, and then I don't even need to worry about belting to the buffer. So there we go, and then this only fills the belt up to a certain amount. Tree seeds. Less than 100, 200 even, 150. I don't know, we're not gonna need that many. It's a very fast process to loop that around. So that will guarantee that we always have tons of space for extra tree seeds. And that will only fill them up to 90, and this will only take off if we're over 150. That would be 60 seedlings have spoiled with no seeds getting used. And then that'll fill up the next round. And we could take a lot of rounds of spoilage. And that would be rounds of spoilage where we only run the logs for like a couple minutes. And even then, the amount of nursery... Why did I build 9 nurseries? I just built one too many. Oh, that's why I didn't have that extra nursery. You know, there was that moment where I was like, oh, I wonder why I thought I built enough nurseries. Well, I did, because I only needed 8. You dummy. Anyway, these nurseries are not that much more than what the forestries are needing. So even when it's running full tilt, the seedlings aren't building up that fast, like the excess seedlings. We're mostly just using all of them. So it's really only if, like, once the whole thing shuts down, then the seedlings are going to spoil into 3 seeds, basically. One seed that got used spoils into 3. So then next time it runs, as long as it runs for 3 cycles, then we're fine. So, I mean, it's really not that big of a risk. I just don't think there's much of a risk here. Okay, and then we're gonna need moss to get fed into the loop from the requester. So the requester will have ash, and it will have moss. And I'm gonna break my rule here, and we're gonna have both belts right here, because the moss will just get fed in. Well, that's problematic actually. No, I think I need to feed in moss down there. It would be technically okay right now because 1 splitter is acceptable. You can still read the whole belt with 1, but we wouldn't be getting the read on whatever that's called. The count of Monte Cristo. The count of what's on the looper. It's not the spreader. What do we call that thing? What do I call that? It's not a spacer. It's not a looper. What do I call that? I've called it things before. I've called it the... I don't even remember what I've called it. That's really funny. I have no concept of what I called that thing. The evener. I mean, it's like, it's got a name. What do I call this? The spacer? Did I call this a spacer? Mixer. I think I called it a mixer. You guys will have to tell me. I'm pretty sure I even used the word in this episode, but I cannot remember for the life of me what name I give this thing. I think it's mixer, but I couldn't tell you for sure. Alright, so anyway, this belt of moss is coming over. And this gets fed into also the close side. But since everything's being measured over here anyway, why don't I just do another one of these? And then the moss gets fed in at a rate of something. Maybe moss. We need how much? 1.875. So 187 times 2 would be about 400. Am I overfilling this one side of the belt? 400, 200, and 90. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we're okay. We will get a few more seedlings than that because of it'll run 2 extra times after the inserters stop inserting. So we'll get another like 50 seedlings. Because 24 times 2 more recipes. Yeah. So we will end up with a few more than requested, but not like hundreds and hundreds more. And the belt loaders that load onto the side are always going to give us an exact count. We're never going to have more moss than we want. And we're never going to have more seeds than we want past this limit of 150. So I think this is looking pretty good. And now we just need ash on the train network. And I think I've built everything, right? Let me walk through this. So we did the water, we did the tree seeds, we did the nurseries, we did the composting and the CO2, and yeah, I mean, we built the whole thing. Now it's just a matter of bringing in ash and moss on a request. Both of which are needed in fairly large amounts, so I do want full trainfuls, I think. 50 seconds. Yeah, yeah, full train loads is okay. So this is a BR20 situation. And we're gonna merge. And then we want moss. 35 stacks. And then we want ash. Uh-oh. Which ash is ash? There's the real ash. 35. Channel 3, priority 0. That's all good. Okay. This one is a bulk request, so I want some extra loaders here. And we should see now that request is live. Somewhere. There it is. Okay. And now I just need a place that delivers ash and moss. You're gonna filter ash. Where is it? I thought it was here. Easily grabbable. You know what's funny? Why are these down here? They did so much work putting all the barrels below everything, but then somehow there's still 3 items that managed to get underneath the canisters. That's... Oh, okay, there's ash, by the way. And then moss. I mean, we only need 2 a second, so that doesn't need a loader. Okay. And then I will just preemptively extend that. And the ash goes here, and the moss goes there. Cool. And if we're lucky, this is all gonna work. Except those need to be filtered. Boom. Do I have some ash? I normally have a stack of ash just chilling in my inventory, but not right now. Alright, so we need to go set up ash deliveries, which is gonna be a long belt, surprisingly. I wonder if I should get a train over to this area of the base. Because Ash Mountain's all the way over here, so having a train on this side would be nice. By the way, this is actually starting to fill up with iron. Ironically, let's... Yeah, we'll just put it over here, it's fine. Okay, so we need a full belt of ash coming in hot. At some point, we'll just make an ash production facility, but for now, we just need a belt. And I'd love to belt it like here. Yeah, I'm thinking along the lead, and then maybe we'll go underneath this nonsense. Yeah, down to there. So ash is right here. Okay. Looking good. And then we go up. And then we'll come over with the acetylene. Okay, and then there's ash. So then we just need to back that up. Where did I start that? I started it right there. So we need to get ash to there. Maybe up here. Wait, is this my ash belt? Hold on, I might already have the ash belt set up. Yeah, that's one of them. Now it is providing to some other stuff, so let's get another one. This will be ash belt numero dos. Ah! And then that comes over to here. And then that... some undergroundy business. And then we'll do that, and then that. Oh, perfect. Okay. That should do it. And I need to go grab some more belts and undergrounds and pipes and all sorts of stuff. And how have these built up? Have these built up nicely? I am gonna do a storage chest for all the old types. And these are all built up. Perfect. Boom, 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 boom. And then we do boom, 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 boom. And we go 1 to 1. Go 1 to 2. We do L. We do I. We do T. Perfect. And then we go grab some loaders, we grab some splitters, we grab some inserters, we grab some yellow inserters. Bunch of everything. Burner drills, stone furnaces, miners? No, we're good on miners. Engines? Good on engines. Steel chests. Always can use more of those. Small parts. Looks like we're pretty good on. Power poles. Up to 100. Circuits. 400. Intermetallics. 100. Oh yeah, we need belts. Kind of forgot that whole part. of this trip. Alright, and then the bots should do the hard work from here on out. If I let them. Might take them a minute, so maybe I help out. Yeah, I think Blueprint Shotgun struggles with the big buildings. It works kind of as expected with stuff like belts. But I think when you're dealing with size, you know, 17 by 17 buildings, it gets a little uppity about what you're trying to do. This is awesome. Yes. Easily the best way to build belts. Could I just use mouse over construction? Yes, I could. But that's way less fun. Oop, missed one. Wow, that should do it. I think. We'll see. So we gotta go set up the loading station for that. Do. Ashload. Maybe this one? Sure. This one seems pretty blank. Provide only. Those are connected. Load those real fast. I don't think we need anything else. Should do it. Alright, so I think that's all we need. Channel 1. What we want. We need to name the station. Ash E. Alright. Don't think we need anything else. Let me go grab some more moss to kickstart this whole situation. Oh, hey, Tim. Join us, please. Welcome back, Timothy. Okay. Moss is gonna be way down here. Yeah, there we go. That should be enough for now. I think. Hop in here. Ah, we still have caravans. I'm struggling to think about when to use caravans. I think if we need large quantities of small amounts, or I should say like large quantity of item types, but small quantities of those items. Something like that is a really good use for a caravan, maybe mixed with a central logistics bot. Oh, but we don't have the bot channel. So logistics bot channel mod, I don't know if it's been ported to 2.0 yet. I used it in my Angel Bob's Omni playthrough, and it was actually really useful. Because there are times where you have a global bot network, right? But you want logistics bots that exist only to carry 3 items from over here to over here, because you only need 0.05 items per second, right? But you can't do that without making those logistics things available to the whole base, which isn't what you want. So the logistics bot channels mod, or the networks mod, I can't remember exactly the name of it, is actually exactly what we're going to want for certain situations, where you're moving things either between two blocks that are next to each other. Like if I was moving something from here to here, I might just use logistics bots instead of putting it on trains. Because you might know that like you're never going to do it anywhere else, right? You'd want to put it on trains if you're going to end up making that item in multiple places and consuming it in multiple places, and then trains allow you to start kind of diverting the mental load of all the different spaces you're working on. Also, this is requesting 35 of each stack, which is getting pretty tight. So let's do this. Okay. And then I'm just gonna... No! What am I doing? I don't want my gas refinery in there. There we go. Get the moss started. And the ash. I didn't grab any, did I? After all that, we're still gonna have to wait for a full train load to fill up. Which is not fast. I mean, it hasn't even started yet. And 15 a second. We're gonna need how many seconds? 6. It's 1 minute per stack. We're talking 20 minutes for a train load, so I need to go grab some manually, I think. I don't want to wait 20 minutes to see this fire up. Uh-oh, I just realized something. This needs the full Monty of loaders, because this is going to take forever to load. Right? We're talking, even at that rate, that's 60 or 30, 60, 90 a second for 20 stacks is still a long time. What's the math on that? That's still 222 seconds to load that train. Oh, I was standing on the rails. And I want to make sure Cybersyn is not set to like... forget about a train before that long. I swear I remember seeing... Oh, that's Cybersyn Combinator, not Project Cybersyn. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Here it is. Stuck train timeout. Oh, okay, nice. Now, does this... It's not clear. I'm curious if this considers the train to be lost and then will order another delivery? Or is this just triggering a warning to the player? Because those are two very different things. I'm not sure which one. But anyway, this is gonna take a while to fill up. So let me go grab some ash. Sorry, Tim. Tim and Jenny gonna get left behind there. Find my nearest ash pile. Grab 14,000. Sounds like a good start. And we'll drive back to our tree area. Oh, trains are so fun. I love trains. All right. We're good to go on that. I do need to prime the tree seed pump as well with some wood down here. That should do it. And then prime the ash pump. I mean, did we do it? I didn't connect muddy sludge yet, I guess. So that needs to get done. Muddy sludge can go... Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Just go over all of that. That is so nice. Alright, so there's muddy sludge hooked up. And then this will be getting... Oh, we didn't do water for all these guys either. That should be easy. That's just right here. And right here. Oh, these do have the niobium look. So I should be carrying around regular niobium pipes. Oh. Cool. Alright. I think we're going. Things are happening, folks. Things are happening. We got seedlings. That count is showing up, so we're not gonna have too many. This is not a drill. Forestry farm is firing up. And this will provide a crap ton of wood to the network. And then we're gonna throw in a bunch of wood chippers, so we'll also provide biomass to the system with this same idea. Oh, but then we start running into more problems. Well, I say more problems, more questions of like, should I just put the composters right here and load biomass in, or should I make that a separate train block that just requests wood from anywhere? Because what if we end up making wood in different places? Is wood a byproduct? You know, like, there's just so many options. And there's going to be different ways to make biomass, and so it almost feels like I should have a central biomass making station that, like, makes it from all sorts of different things. I don't know. I don't even know the best way to do it, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at wood, and we're going to see, is wood a byproduct? And no, it's never a byproduct. Are logs ever a byproduct? No, logs are never a byproduct. So I'm never going to be making these somewhere else. If this is my wood block, this is my wood block. So I should probably make biomass from wood here and load that into a train as well. Alright, and then logs, I think we'll end up with some extra stations here, so why don't we get that set up? We'll just get that going. And then this does one of those. Okay. Because yeah, we're gonna want a multi-provide. Well, we're probably gonna want separate providers, bulk providers for the wood and the biomass, and then a multi-provide for the logs and whatever else we end up making in this block. So this one we actually can reset to be a regular provider. Basic provider, and then basic provider here. And then we'll bring the logs and the wood and eventually the biomass. The logs will go to a multi-provider, which would be here. Okay. So logs will come this way. Wood will go to this one. Oop, I just screwed that one up. This goes up. Okay, so there's wood getting loaded in to probably a larger warehouse. And then wood main wood block provide. Okay, easy enough. Double loader for that one. This is going to be a variety of things. Logs will be one of them. And we'll probably chill at... how many stacks of logs? No, sorry. Turn filters off. Enable disable on log. And this is the actual log. Is less than 10 stacks, maybe? I think that's probably enough. Okay. So is everything running? Seems like it. We are in business, baby. We are in the business of chopping trees. Forestry block is complete. The only thing lacking is moss. We're not making moss, but we needed... what did we need for moss? I needed biomass, right? And we wanted to make biomass from wood, so I still need to make a few composters. Unfortunately, I can't make very many right now. Ugh, that sucks. Yeah, probably like 4 or 5 composters is going to be enough. So for now, I'll just have the one, but I'll probably end up with like 4 over here. And I will send half my wood to be wood chipped. Go straight into the chipper and straight out of the chipper into this guy, which is the biomass provider. And then that goes merge and double loader. Okay, and this is biomass P. Cool. All right, sweet. I'm loving it. And we'll send logs to their happy home, because they're needed for some things. And yeah, there we go. Feeling pretty good. We've met our tree seed quota. We are out of moss as we expected, because we're not getting moss delivered yet. That'll be in the next episode. That we'll be building the moss farm. Moss farm. I don't think we're gonna build 16 a second, but we will build, I don't know how much. Maybe 8 a second to start. That feels reasonable. 40 moss farms is doable. Yeah. Alright, cool. Well, we'll work on that in the next episode. We're gonna call it here. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.